Hi everyone, welcome back to another video, and today's going to be a little bit different because I just wanted to share a little bit about my experience being on testosterone, especially being newly on testosterone while being on my clinical rotations, especially being on the wards on my internal medicine residency rotation. So it's been an interesting month. So for those of you that don't know, in medical school, your first 2 years are preclinical, like lecture style classes, and then years 3 and 4 are all in the fields, like either in the hospital, in the clinic, kind of experiencing each specialty and learning actual medicine for the first time. And notoriously so, internal medicine, residency-based, wards-based, however your school might call it, is one of the most difficult rotations, and I think it's really underestimated how difficult it is, because when we're thinking about internal medicine, we're talking everything. You need to know everything, and you need to know it in depth and really well. You're managing very complex patients in the hospital, people who have a lot going on and a lot of issues. So it can be very exhausting as is, but I wanted to share a bit of being, I'm 2.5 months now on testosterone, and so I am actively going through puberty while on this internal medicine rotation, and it's been an experience. So I haven't been on any rotations before T, so I don't know how it would be like if I wasn't on T, comparing it to now. But something that I've really noticed especially is that I'm exhausted a lot. And I think testosterone, while going through kind of a bulk phase, it does make you more tired. It makes me want to sleep a lot more. I've noticed that, like, even before I started rotations, being on team makes me want to nap. I'm a lot more tired easily. And being on internal medicine right now, I'm frequently up at 4 in the morning. I get to the hospital around 6, I pre-round, and then we do rounds, and then at the end of the day, I go home, or I stay there, depending on how late we go. I pulled a 12-hour day today, and I'm not done yet because we have a shelf exam at the end of the month, so I have to go home and I have to study. I have to do I've been doing 100 questions a day to get a lot done. Most people should not be probably doing 100 questions a day. That's too many, but I slacked off a little bit. So I have to do more questions. My brain has to be on all the time, and I've noticed it's difficult to kind of stay awake. I've required a lot more caffeine than usual. I'm not getting the correct amount of sleep that my body needs right now for being on this puberty. So getting up early, going to bed late has not been super great. So just be prepared for that. If you are going to be doing rotations while early in your transition, that can be something that's more difficult. So plan on how you're going to get your sleep. Maybe don't build up a tolerance to caffeine so that caffeine actually works for you. That might be helpful. But then also something that is kind of different is that I need to eat a lot more. I need to eat more frequently. And you don't get a lot of breaks for snacks on rounds. My rounds take about 3 hours in the morning to do, and you don't really want to run off and do something. Make sure you're eating enough in the morning. Make sure if you're not eating at the hospital, make sure you're bringing enough food with you. If you stay late, maybe have some snacks with you. Make sure that you can eat if you stay late, because odds are you're going to have some days where you're on call later into the evening. If you're not doing a night call, we don't do night call as students, but we do take new admits, and so we might be there late. So just be prepared that you are going to need to eat a lot more. And it's going to be hard too, combined with the exhaustion of being there early, not getting enough sleep, and then also needing to eat more. Make sure you have a plan in place. Like, I know getting home, I'm not ready to cook for myself. And I find myself not having a lot of energy or time to go buy groceries. I don't have a lot of time to do a lot of things. So make sure that, if you need to put plans in place to have food delivered to you, find things that are healthy and easy to make so that you're not wondering, if I have to go home and cook for myself, am I going to have enough energy to do that? Do I have enough time? And getting all my study questions in, thinking about all that is really important as well. It can be very easy to just slip into junk food, and I'm guilty of that right now. But I can definitely see that could be a problem. So be prepared to have a lot of food ready. Be prepared to not have a lot of time to make it. That's a tip on that. And then just thinking about some other little things, like emotionally, it can be kind of intense, and we know medical school is tough. It's tough to have imposter syndrome, especially entering the hospital for the first time, not feeling like you really belong there, constantly feeling stupid or like you don't deserve to be there. And then on top of that, having dysphoria of wondering if someone's going to misgender you that day, wondering if you look like you pass in the men's bathroom. It can be intimidating. So you've got kind of two angles of imposter syndrome coming at you, and it can be kind of emotionally exhausting on top of the other exhaustion that you already have. So be kind to yourself. Try to mitigate stress as much as possible. Try to mitigate that anxiety. Know that you're not alone in that. Everyone in your third year of medical school feels like you don't fit in and you don't feel like you know enough, and that's okay. And being trans, you often don't feel like you fit in well enough, and that's understandable as well. But try to be kind to yourself. And I don't have a whole lot of good advice on that because it does get really difficult, but it is normal. I'm experiencing it. I'm sure you will too if you're undergoing this kind of thing. And then just with your testosterone, if I don't specifically talk about testosterone because that's the only experience that I know. I don't know how any of this is going to be for someone newly starting estrogen on a rotation. But if you need to schedule doctor's appointments, it can be very difficult to schedule your labs and to schedule your follow-up appointments. So especially on internal medicine, or like my next month is OB-GYN and then I have surgery, so it's going to be very difficult for me to schedule my appointments. Make sure that you're able to plan that out even if you can't go in advance, but I've noticed it is difficult to try to set up those kinds of appointments just because I don't have a lot of time in general. So that's kind of my experience, all of that together. I might make more videos if anything else comes up, but it's a lot. Medical school is a lot as it is. Going through puberty is a lot as it is. Combining them together is absolutely insanity. And you're not alone if you're going through this. This is my experience. Your experience might be the same. It might be different. Also depends on your residence in your hospital and all of that. But you're not alone. Let me know if you want anyone to talk to, or if you don't want anyone to talk to. It's okay. I often don't want to talk to anybody when I'm feeling like this, and it's part of the process. So let me know if you have any questions. I'm here for you. We all got to stick together, and I will see you all in the next one.